All right.
You know, you do too many Zooms, so you know what's going on now.
Gotcha.
So thank you so much for being here. Beautiful. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I always enjoy to be in your open mic. I love you are so genuine. Your hosting is the host makes different environment all the time, and you do good with it.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. I try to make it fun for everybody.
Do you enjoy hosting the open mic?
Yeah, I mean, the open mic's cool. I mean, I've hosted my own produced shows, and hosting the open mic's different because everybody's working on their stuff just like I am, and it's kind of fun to see where everybody's going. Everybody has a different idea and opinions. I mean, I've seen things go down the wrong way. It's like, well, you're learning. That's all that matters, and it's a safe place because we're not running around showing off the recordings to somebody, or we're not recording. I'll say that right now. We're not recording. Comedians are recording their own sets. I want to say that right out loud. We're not recording the only certain comedians who want to go back and watch their sets, which I've recorded my sets. 9 times out of 10, I haven't went back to watch them.
So that's why I never record my sets on my laptop, because I try to record them in a way that I will have fun to listen to. So I always record my sets on my phone, and I listen to them when I'm going for a nice walk. Maybe when I'm working out, I would get bored of the music or this. So I make it fun. I feel that if I record them in my laptop, I will never open them.
Well, the only reason I record them is kind of conscientious, is like, all right, just keep track of your time. That's kind of where I'm at with that. And then if I do go back and listen, look, some open mics, you and I have both been there. It's quieter in the church, on Saturday. There's nothing going on. But some open mics, like one you and I have been going to recently, there's laughter. So it's really nice to have that recording to see what's hitting, what's not. And that kind of feedback's really helpful. That's the one thing about the open mics. What I do is, like, if you hear me riffing after it, I'm giving kind of my own little notes. Even though I'm the host, I'm just kind of throwing my own little notes at it.
Yeah, I always also like when you are the host, you give me good punchlines when you comment in the set. But talking exactly, some open mics, you just feel that people are not paying attention. You can feel it. And it's good that you know that you shouldn't count on this recording because nobody is giving a shit.
Well, the one thing I do, and I don't know if you do it or not, I keep a notebook next to my computer. So I make sure that I have something where I can write down some notes. Even if I do my own produced shows, I'll write down a note because someone will be doing their jokes and they've said something funny and I want to tag it. And it's kind of the idea, just have a notebook. And, and that's the other thing too with these open mics, and maybe with the dark side of the Zoom is the one that Muaadh is talking about, that I host, is maybe we should be a little more freer about passing notes to each other about it. Like, hey, there's a tag here, because there's another one you and I go to that I know I've gotten notes back and forth from some people. It would be like more to say, hey, let's give each other notes. Let's help each other. We're all in this in together. We're not, none of us are going on Netflix anytime soon, or Hulu or HBO. Let's all work together to get better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I also think that I don't know if you know other business that has shit. See, that's my Facebook open. That sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry. But what
no problem.
What I wanted to tell you is, I feel that I don't know if there is another business like comedy, but comedy business, the more famous and good you are, the more it's good for everyone. Like how many, we don't have too many comedians that are making money out of this art. Maybe all around the world, thousands, but how many? There is not too much competition. And the more the art gets to people, the more people get to know comedy. Because you live in the US, but me coming from Yemen, and also being here in Europe, people don't have so much access to comedy. It's one of the like musics are more. There are too many arts, and I feel that comedy is one of the arts that it's not as famous as other arts.
And see, that's the aspect from where you're from that I don't have, because comedy here, it's like, oh, look, a bar's open. Oh, they're doing an open mic. Oh, look, they're doing another open mic here. I could probably hit 3 open mics now within 10 minutes of me where I'm living right now. I could probably hit 5 with 25 minutes, you know? So I'm sitting there going, yeah, and I need to get out more. I get it, you know. I won't mention the 4-letter word that we all have to do every day, 5 days a week, or 6 days a week, or 7 days a week. But the point is that here comedy is like, you know, stone thrown away for me. I know some people have to drive hours. I know friends or people in New Hampshire that drive an hour to an hour and a half to get to one open mic. And that's a lot of commitment. I mean, yeah, in Europe you have nothing. Well, an hour and a half to do 5-minute set and bomb that's commitment. That is commitment to comedy. So, you know, I mean, for me to bomb, I just turn on my Zoom and I bomb off right there. And it's like, you know what? I didn't waste any gas today. I just wasted internet, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, you don't even waste internet. You pay monthly, and so
That's true. I mean, the whole point is that I didn't have to go drive somewhere, find a parking spot. Oh, look, I gotta find who's running it. Oh, we got a list. Okay, where am I? How late is this starting? Because they never start on
so
time.
where
By
do
the
you
way,
live? Where do you live?
I live in Michigan. I live, let's see, let's get the right hand. Yeah, I live like right about here. I'm northwest of Detroit
No.
because Michigan looks like a hand. So it's like northwest of Detroit.
Do you live next to Liz? I hope I'm saying the name right.
Liz?
Liz, yeah.
Liz? Oh, she's cross country.
She's
She's in Arizona. She's on the she's not quite all on the West Coast, but close to California and that. I'm in the Midwest, basically what they call it.
because I know that there are too many open mics and comedy in New York, Las Vegas, but I never heard that in Michigan also there are a lot of open mics and people.
Yeah, and then yeah, Michigan. And I think you're talking about going to Canada. So up in Toronto, there seems like a ton of open mics there.
100%.
And I know Phoenix, Arizona seems like they got a lot of open mics going on out there. California, of course. I can't really talk about the other states too much because I haven't been there, but I just know from dealing with other people like, oh yeah, I've got a lot of open mics here. Chicago is another one. Omaha actually has a lot of different mics going on. Just Omaha, Nebraska, they have a lot of mics, but it's regional. I mean, I lived in Boise for the longest time. I don't remember ever hearing about comedy open mics when I was there, and now there's like 2 or 3, I think, out there now. So it's like, well, see what happens. Comedy has grown over the years as people want to do it, get on stage, because let's face it, karaoke sucks. I'm saying that out loud. Karaoke sucks. I've listened to enough drunk people try to sing like Guns N' Roses or, you know, name a band that they've tried to sing it. It sucks. Let's stop. You know, let's hear some real art. Okay. Because karaoke, yeah, great. Some of you are great singers, but you know what? Comedy's a fickle thing too. You can't please everybody. I'll say that right now. You're not going to make everybody laugh. You might hit a nerve with somebody. So you're going to have to take your lumps. Hopefully no punches or slaps as in the post Will Smith era now. Let's not have any, I don't want to have to wear a football helmet and bulletproof vest to do stand up. I'm just saying that out loud. But I think comedy is a little more fun because people are out there creating, working, writing jokes. And it's a little, you know, singing is a talent, but like I said, drunk people singing is just not talent. That's just hard on the ears. But comedy is something that's an artwork. You're working on your jokes, and you can tell the guys or the women and men and whoever are working on their jokes. You can tell the people working on their jokes, because if you go to that bar every week or every other week, you're seeing the progress. You're hearing different things. You're gonna see they're moving up, and you know, some people you'll see move up faster than others. And the one thing I've had to learn, and I don't know if you've had to get this, is that, you know, I've been 2.5 years in. I'm not going to be the same level as somebody else at 2.5 years. And some people have a little more luck at it than me. So I can't judge myself against someone else. You're at your own pace. Do not judge yourself at anyone else. So
I got it. But what I learned is that in comedy, some people have more luck because of maybe their background. I feel like some people background is funnier, and also it depends about your who you are. How do you react to things with your where you come from, your perspective, and are you funny with how you react to things, how when you see new things, and how also some people work harder than others. But as you said, I feel like it's there is no fair. Our bodies are not fair. So also I feel it's the same case with comedy. Everyone has different background, materials, look, and it's also not fair.
no, I think the whole thing with like different backgrounds, like I have friends who are teachers and they stand in front of like kids or teenagers and that. So they're used to bombing in front of kids anyways, because the kids ain't listening. Who cares? So I hear them. And so they're used to public speaking. And that's part of it. It's getting used to talking in front of an audience or in front of a camera. Because if you can get comfortable just saying your jokes out loud by yourself in front of a camera or a mirror or in front of people and hearing dead silence, you're on your way to being a comedian. I swear you're going to have those days where you're not going to make anyone laugh, or you might get one laugh. But when you get to where it's like several laughs and you get like, a bunch of laughs at once, or you get an applause, it's like, yeah, that's what that's what you're looking for. You're looking to get their endorphins going to get your endorphins going. I love making people laugh. So it's like, okay, how can I craft my jokes to where I can do the misdirect and say, you didn't see that coming, did you? I caught you, So it's like, see this like that laugh there. It's just like,
yeah,
I want to be able to do that kind of stuff, and a lot of us are looking at that. Like some people just look at it as a hobby. I'm sure you're looking at it more than, as I am, is like, can I do something more with comedy? Is there a possibility? And that's where I'm at. It's not stressful. If it's stressful, if it becomes a job and you start hating it, then get out. Or take a break. I know everybody gets to that point in comedy, like every other week, where you just want to quit comedy. And it happens. You bomb. You thought, oh crap, I'll never do that again. You just get back up and do it again. But if it becomes laborious and it becomes like a drain on your family and all that, you need to step back and look how you're doing things. I know I walked off the path there, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, it's like, to be honest, for me, I have different strategy, because the day that I feel that I don't want to do it, I say to myself, okay, let's take a break tomorrow or the day after, but today let's make it. So then I do it, and then tomorrow I come with different mood, and sometimes I even change my mind. I also feel that comedy, it's you kind of don't know if people will laugh today or no. You will never know. And I love the reward of the days where I'm like, no, today I'm not going. I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling it. And then you go that day, and it's like 180-degree different than everything you expected. And sometimes you are cool, you are ready, you don't want to quit, and it goes. So that what also excites me, that I'm like, let's also push it. It's so exciting for me.
Yeah, because you never know the outcome. And the other thing too, with like open mics, and you don't really, with me, when you go to an open mic, like the one I go to that's close to me. I mean, literally, it smells like a carton of cigarettes when I leave, and I don't smoke. So it's a bunch of comedians sitting at tables and then not listening to you. So like you said, not paying attention to you. So sometimes you might get laughter from the bar if there's anybody at the bar paying attention to you. It's finding what you get out of those open mics. Are you just trying to work on your craft? Are you working on your stage presence? Are you working on memorizing your jokes? Because, you know, a lot of people go up there with their phones or a bunch of notes and they put them on the bar stool, or they're reading them right off of cue cards or index cards, index cards. You use that open mic time to work on whatever you think you need to work on. Maybe you got tight set of jokes and no one's laughing, but you're working on your stage presence. Maybe you're working on not wandering off the stage all day long, you know, because some people wander back and forth. You got to figure with that open mic time, even if you don't get laughs, you figure out what you want to work on. Spend that time working on it and say, look, today I'm going to do this. I'm going to memorize a 7-minute set. Even if I don't remember all the jokes, I'm going to go back to some old jokes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit 7 minutes. I'm done, you know, or I'm going to do a set for a festival. I'm recording this. I want to make sure I get everything I want out. And even if there's no laughs, I did my set. I'm proud of what I did, you know, or at least halfway decent anyway. You know,
Yeah.
so that's what I use the open mics for.
Yeah, I feel that exactly. You really don't know, so you can bring your old jokes, change them, or some new premises. Just say things. You don't know how. You said that you go to the. I think you should make also bet about the comedy place near your the one that you live and you smell like back of cigarette and you don't smoke. That's sorry.
No, I haven't made a joke about him. I love the place to death. There's really no stage. There's a post right next to you for holding up the roof. People will walk from the door entrance in front of you. So you're doing your jokes. People will walk right in front of you and don't give a damn to get to the bar. There's 2 different ways to get to the bar, and they walk right past you. So what this, and let me raise this up so I don't cut off my head. So what this place I use this for is, I call it the toughest room in Detroit, in the Detroit area. If you can make them laugh, if you can survive this room, you're fine. You can go to the other rooms, you'll be fine. You're going to be fine. It's this room here that is the toughest one. And I've had people agree, they're like, yeah, this is the roughest, toughest room. I've seen stuff that went down. I've seen people say some stupid shit, get banned from the room. I've watched it. I've seen it happen. And the whole thing is that you use this room to work out your shit. And once you feel like you got somewhere, go to the next room. You might not be so bad. You're going to be okay. Even though you're bombing here, you're going to be fine over here. Don't worry about it. But just use this. That room is the place to go work it out. And I love the place to death. I love the bar. You know, I don't love her, but I mean, the bartender, she's a great person.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's a nice person.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and the producer there, he's a nice guy. I get along with him. He works with me. I've hosted once there. And the whole point is that, like even the open mics on Zoom, you're not always going to have the greatest open mics. You and I have both been there. It's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Why did I show up on a Zoom call for this? I bombed. What did I do for? I wasted my, you know, you think you wasted your lunchtime, but you really, it's work on what you think you need to work on. And I'm only 2.5 years in. So like writing all the time, I try to write a joke a day or something, but with the open mics, just spend the time figuring out what one thing you want to work on, because 9 times out of 10, you're not always going to get a laugh. I mean, you get lucky, some open mics, you get lucky, but not every open mic, you're going to have that luck.
It's funny how different when you ban someone from an actual room and when you ban someone on Zoom. It's much easier. Also, like imagine someone is muscular or someone who is a travel person. And you want to tell them like, don't come. But on Zoom, it's like power, muscles. Our body doesn't make any sense. And that's what people are thinking, that maybe we can leave our like monkey body, what some people call it, because, and what do you think about this like crazy stuff? Like leaving our body, living in the matrix, because you know, like now we are doing open mics in Zoom, and with it's not as good as real life, but from nothing, it becomes something good. And from here, it doesn't stop. So maybe in like people think that in 30 years, 40, maybe 100 years from here, technology would be able to replace even the sex. You would feel better and Zooms. What's your philosophy on this?
Okay, well, because of the pandemic, Zoom mics have gotten me a lot farther than going to any open mic in real life. I'll say that right now. And because there's also other feedback mics that I've been a part of, that's always helpful. The thing with Zoom mics, and I'm saying this out loud, Zoom, online mics, because I'm producing ones and there's stuff coming up for one that I'm working on right now. I don't think there's an end to them. I think that they're always going to be around. Yes, you can go to every show you want in New York City. You can do everything. But when I'm doing things and I get comedians, they'll say, hey, I really love being on your show. When are you going to have me next? I'm like, okay. I know that that's the thing with these online shows. The open mics on Zoom are easy, accessible things. The Zoom online showcases or game shows, like I got one, are things that are unique. And they shouldn't, they're, I think more people are going to realize what they have because you'll be able to get to them on your computer, via your TV. Look, a lot of people can't get out. You got kids. I talked to somebody today. They're like, I got a 10-month-old. We can't leave. We can't leave the house. We got 10-month-old. We're not leaving it with the babysitter. Totally get it. And the whole thing is you give another venue for people to go to. It's like the invention of the radio, and then the TV took off, and then people are like, oh, no one's ever going to watch TV. Well, what happened? TV kind of took over radio, but you still have that venue. This online stuff here isn't going anywhere. It's actually going to expand. And in about 5 years from now, I think you're going to see a lot more being produced, whether it's a hybrid of streaming a live show or more online shows where people can access them more, because there's, like I said, there's a lot of people in society, like you said, in Europe. If I advertised a comedy show, say like where you're at, online, look, there's going to be, we're all over here, we're doing comedy. Do you want to watch some comedy? Here you go. This is what we're doing. Come on, watch the show. We're doing, you're doing it for free, whatever it is. And you get people hooked on this. And they're like, man, that was so cool. And I didn't have to leave home. I didn't have to get out my PJs. I could drink all I want. I could smoke all I want,
Yeah,
I think.
100%.
And so I look at it that way, is that you're saving people not drinking and driving, or, smoking and driving, but you're also giving people who cannot access live comedy. So I think this venue here, beyond the Netflix and the Hulus and all them, I think there's this we're just cracking the egg of this one. I really do. I think in 10 years from now, you're going to see a lot more of this than you think.
What 100%. It's also like, for example, where I am physically, there is no comedy at all. It's not just I cannot leave the house. So Zoom even gives people access to comedy in countries where they might not even have access to comedy or even open mics. But my main question that I was seeking an answer from you is, Zoom now is doing upgrade every month, every 2 months. And other companies are trying to catch Zoom. And the internet is also getting better. And my issue is not Zoom winning or losing, but what I'm trying to tell you that in the long run, we're gonna see big change in 10 years, 20 years, with this upgrade, you never know how convinced and how good it's going to be. So do you have any expectation that maybe we will totally live in the matrix and it will be more convinced in even real life? Because people keep upgrading from nothing, it's here now, and from here now it will not end. So, and many people think that we will be living in the matrix. What do you think?
I think well, I know, like, there's a VR comedy thing. which I've been to. It looks like a bunch of like Lego stick figures, doing comedy. It's not quite there. I can see where if they do enough upgrades where you and I could do like a VR headset, or we can have a 3D camera, do as long as we're in like a green screen-ish room or whatever, I think there's a possibility where maybe we could do more comedy, holographically or whatever you want to call it, or virtual. And I could see people getting hooked on that versus going out live. But again, are you stuck at home? Okay. Do you want to go out? Okay. There's, it depends on how society changes as things change. I mean, look at the cell phones. It's changed how people do things. GPS. I mean, dear Lord, I used to read a map. A map is a piece of paper. It has like roads and has highlights of where cities and towns are. I mean, seriously,
It's
we went
crazy.
from
Crazy.
yeah. So it's going to keep evolving. I mean, even in Zoom, I'm not even sure if you've seen it in Zoom. You've seen the avatars, right? They've added avatars.
I really saw an update, but I haven't checked this avatars. It's crazy.
Yeah, so you can be a creature, an animal. So let's see, where is this? It's on beta. So I'm gonna pick. Let's see if I can get one without killing it. So I could be a dog.
Wow. I'm telling you, these things are not gonna stop.
No. So I'm turning myself back into a human. But the point is that if Zoom is spending that money, and I deal with Microsoft Teams and I've seen WebEx, there's a few of them out there, they're never going to get into this. They're just stuck in what they do. They do business. But Zoom, StreamYard, Microsoft Teams, eventually, those three will probably be the ones competing. And we'll be doing more of a virtual chat kind of thing. Versus, what we're doing here is pretty cool, because 5 years ago, you're not doing this webcam stuff. The most you're doing is like, voice chat at best, or text.
Yeah.
You're not doing this. And now we've got internet speeds and all that. And yes, they are upgrading all the time. I wish the United States would get faster because, I'm kidding. The internet doesn't stop that fast.
You scared me.
But the whole thing is, yeah, I think the more this technology grows, we're all going to have to be conscious of it too, is that we don't want to take it over our lives, and we want to make sure that we live a whole life. So yes, I think more people might live in this universe. Like there's places called Second Life. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it's a computer program where you kind of play around in it. You build your own house, all this and that. It's a weird little thing. I haven't heard about it in forever, but people want to live in VR. I mean, there's been TV shows, there's been movies about that. Yeah, okay, cool. You want to live in VR, but you know what? I want to go outside and smell the roses. I want to go out and feel the sun on my face.
That's the problem still. That's the problem still now. But that's what I'm trying to tell you, that like you are telling me 20 years ago or 15 years ago, you used to use a map. Now you use your phone. But it won't stop here. Like I get you with your opinion now, but tell me in 15 years, tell me in 20 years, when there is other things that's added to it. My issue is now, for sure, I would like to go out and smell roses, but it won't stop. It's freaky. But do you think that we may be able to track death? Do you think death could be also tracked by technology?
I keep hearing about, be able to download your brain into a computer of some kind. And, and all the medicines where you can live forever. Look, life has to have an end somewhere. It's not going to be very important or significant if there's not an end. If you can keep going on and on and on and on and on, who cares? There'll be so many of us out there or it's going to be priced out the roof where you and I will never be able to afford it. But Bill Gates lives up to 10,000 years old. I just don't see. I think the significance of our lives has to be capsulated from an end to beginning. And I think it needs to, if you live to be 100, great. But what's your quality of life at 100? But being downloaded into an Android body, or I mean, I've watched it all. I've watched sci-fi, so I've seen it all. Oh yes, my body, my brain's in a cybernetic brain, and then I can live for the next 1,000 years. What are you gonna do for 1,000 years? Work the next 1,000 years? Because you're gonna have to earn some money to keep that freaking battery charged. I'm guaranteeing you, they're gonna charge you to charge your battery. Oh, the upgrades to your Android body so you can actually have a sex organs that works or something. I mean, the whole thing is it's gonna. So, do you really want to work for another 1,000 years? Do you really, really want to? I mean, society's not going to let you live for free. Let's get down to the brass tacks. Society's not going to let you live for free in your Android body and not pay for the upgrades. Okay. So
oh
I
my
think,
God, that's gonna be also interesting how rich people live and poor people, because there will always be this like shared, like poor people will be freezing all the time, or because like rich people now they have big houses, better cars. How but some people they also say that now we are homo techno, if you know what I mean by
no, I don't know.
like we become from human to
Oh,
homo techno, because this is this generation that uses the computer and the phones. Our brain is different than our ancestors. The brain now it become different. What do you have anything? Because I have another question I want to ask you. I hope I
okay.
won't forget it. So tell me about this.
What's that? The technology thing?
Or let me ask you this. So they say now that they can soon, they are about to be able to tell your past from your brain. It's like we won't be able to lie.
Oh my gosh. Really? Won't be able to lie?
Like they can
Look,
read, they actually can read everything like from your brain. They can read it. No, what?
do you okay, let's think about this for 2 seconds here. Every time they test artificial intelligence and try to build it up, it becomes racist.
How?
I've read it, like I don't know it. Every time I've heard a report, they said, "Look, we've trained the AI." Like Facebook had AI at one point; they were testing it out, and it became really racist. Like
Really?
racist, yes.
Fuck.
And so I'm thinking here, you're going to read my brain. Good luck to you keeping track of one thought. And I don't care if I'm lying or not lying. I don't know about you, but I'm scattered brained half the damn time. I'm talking to you and I went off 10 different paths. There's no way in the heck they're going to say, oh, yes, I know you're lying. Look, polygraphs don't work. Your body language doesn't always work. People can get away with a lot of stuff and you wouldn't know the difference. You could, if you're good at poker playing and you could bluff your way through, you've won. You can win a lot of money for bluffing and people don't catch you in the lie. I don't care how great a computer can get. There's always the human factor. It will not figure out every last permutation. It can't, because your brain's different than my brain. Your experiences are different than mine. So you grew up with, your dad and mom, and I grew up with my dad and mom. So those experiences with siblings, with parents, with friends, family, that computer, it trying to figure out when you lied, it'd be like me predicting the lottery numbers. And the numbers are 2, 17. Oh, never mind. But you know what I'm saying? I don't see how a computer is ever going to predict you lying. Polygraphs, by the way, are a total bullshit. Polygraphs are total bullshit. You go watch some documentaries on it. They're legit, not worth the crap. They scare people. They're a scare tactic. And even the guy who invented them, the guy who invented it says that's not what no, they don't work like that.
It's freaky. Trust me, it's freaky when. But look, I agree. That's why we value honest people, because we cannot really tell. And what I want to talk to you is that, let's say they are able to read humans' brain, and then, for example, they say they read a man brain and he cheated. I think that's gonna be the most reading in the most man brain, and the man could say the machine is lying. How do you prove? Because we don't have like video recording in our brain or anything. So the man could. So it's messed up. It's funny how this thing could be.
Look, what's your definition of cheating? Looking at porn? Is that cheating against your girlfriend? Are you look, all guys?
I think.
What's that?
What I want to tell you is there is no definition for anything. I think that everything is just what we were born and what was defined by our parents, but nothing makes sense.
Well, like Bill Clinton. It wasn't cheating, honey. It was just oral. And you know what? Wait a minute. Oral sex is not sex now. I mean, that was a new level that brought up, and I'm like, what happened? And I was like, so now what? Hand jobs don't count, oral sex, and after what? What's next? It's like, okay, well, you know what? It's like, if you look at porn, is that cheating? No, because you know what? You're a guy, and let me say this for guys. Maybe this is not for every person in the world, but from my perspective, if you've seen one set of boobs, you have to see them all. Okay, it don't matter. We have to see them all. We're like, my wife says I'm the biggest perv. No, whoever created Pornhub is the biggest perv and a millionaire. Okay, I wasn't him. So obviously I'm not a perv, because the human nature drives us to sex. And this cheating thing, you should know the person you're with, because if you are with somebody that lies and cheats in normal life, you might consider what they do with you. If they can't be objectively honest with you, then you might want to consider another person. Because if they screw around with you, they screw around with your money, or telling the truth, or half lie to you. Look, white lies are fine if you're trying to protect somebody from something that's horrific. You kind of want to, like, okay, look, sit down. We got to kind of go over this. And then you tell them, look, I couldn't tell you the whole thing because I know it was a rough time. So here's what's happening. That's not a lie. That's a little bit of a mission of truth. But I think this whole computer figuring out when you're lying or you're cheating, dude, I don't want a dash cam in my head. I don't want a freaking body cam in my brain. Just look, humans are nuts. We are all crazy. We're all in our own little world. We all think we're pretty intelligent. We all think the other guy's a dumbass. I mean, seriously, we all look at somebody and go, what the hell are they drinking? It's the whole thing is that everybody thinks they're pretty good, but we're all the same. We're all the same kind of people, except some people are a little more corrupt. Okay, I'll give that. Corrupt, and they think they can get away with it. If they think they can get away with it, go right ahead. But they're not. They're going to be the loneliest person in the world eventually.
Yeah, but what I want to tell you is maybe there are good people who will not also steal your money or lie, and they might cheat, because I feel also being in long relationship and married is not. It's a little bit against our nature, or against some human nature. And some people will, because also we shame, like if a woman want to have sex with different men, she's called as a bitch, for example. And now I feel like some places and some countries are more open-minded, but people that were born in this society, that they really, from their nature, they are not into staying with someone. We are different, but then we shame them. So that's what forced them to cheat, although they might be a good people and not liars.
Well, the one thing about people that cheat, okay, so you got to take every factor in that relationship. What's gone on in the relationship? What has that forced that person to run away from that person? Was it because they were they couldn't give up an addiction, or were they workaholic? They could never, you never seen them ever again. They worked 80 hours a week. They went out with their buddies all the time and didn't pay attention to their, wives, or vice versa. There's a lot of factors that make someone probably cheat. But if you can't be honest with your spouse and say, look, something's wrong, let's get this figured out, then you're in the wrong relationship. You should be able to say, look, and if that person doesn't want to listen, then it's time to end the relationship. As far as the human nature is concerned, like I said, there's a reason Pornhub's around. I mean, come on. We all have relations on some degree with the other, or whatever everybody's doing. I don't care. Close the doors. I don't want to know about it. Okay. Do whatever you want that makes you happy. I don't care. As long as you're not telling me about it, I don't want the details. Okay. There's a lot of things I don't want the details about, especially your sex life. I don't care. If you tell me, we do jokes about our sex lives. Okay. That's fine. But I don't want to know, Muaadh, how you have long distance relations with your girlfriend, and you don't want to know what I do with my wife in bed. Really? I mean, seriously, you do not want to know.
Yeah, if it's not
So,
enough, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. But the point is that with people that cheat, there's obviously a communication problem, and it's a disconnect. And that's the biggest problem in this world right now, is we can't talk to each other civilly and actually communicate what we really think. And that's where I have a problem with, the United States politics, but whatever, you don't want to get in that. But cheating is the same problem, is that this person's over here not talking to the other person. And next thing you know, we're like, well, F you, I'm gone. And then they're like, well, what did I do? And then if they don't go into counseling, you never know what's wrong. And I've been in a relationship with somebody that really only could see one way. And, they're somewhat a narcissist. And if you've been with a narcissist, my hat's off to you. Get out of that relationship as fast as you can, because you'll never have a say. You will be controlled and all that. But that one, you can't really cheat, because they'll just kill you. That's it. They'll just end your life there. So you have to run away. It's not cheating. It's called run away, is what that is.
Oh my God. But I 100% agree with everything you said, communication and all this. But I also feel that sometimes we are born into system that's against how we feel, and that's why there is mistakes. For example, in Arabic country, you cannot have girlfriend, but you can have 4 wives, and people think that's normal. And then things get screwed because it's weird. I want to tell you something funny about Pornhub. So now in Pornhub, they have too many porn stepmom, stepsister. It's like, what?
I know.
You are not supposed to, like, I feel that
it's wrong.
As you know, I don't want to say anything is wrong. Everyone could do whatever he wants, but that's too weird. But
it's one step past. It's one step past the wrong spot. I mean, you cross the line right there. Seriously, don't. Whatever you think, don't. I mean, I don't understand some people, but then again, it's like I said, close the doors. I don't want to know. I really don't want to know, but that's just one step too far. There's too many stepdaughters, stepwives, stepsons, stepbrothers, stepdads. There's too much Pornhub. They just get rid of the step, and then they'll probably lose 80% of their content.
But do you know why? I think for 2 reasons. First reason is that, like, people are like, oh, he did it with this, she did it with this. Oh, and the second reason is because of COVID. It's like people are not going to college. People are sitting home with their stepdad, stepmom. So I don't know.
Please, look, just don't do it. Okay. That's just not right. Okay. You know what? I don't care. Get out, what, the pandemic's over somewhat. Let's all make sure we take care of each other, because we don't know what the next variant's going to be, like zombie at next time. Look at saying hi. They keep locking it down like there's something we should know, but we're not finding out. But the whole thing with all that step stuff, it's wrong. And you know what? People look at porn and, you know, some people like it, like in your country, 4 wives. Look, 1 wife for me is enough, okay, to keep happy. 4 wives? What the freak are you doing? 4 wives? What am I going to keep 4 women happy? Look, 1's enough. 3 extra is completely insane. I never understood the Mormons where they go, oh yeah, marry as many white women as you could in some sects. I'm like, no, they keep 1 happy. It's happy life, happy wife. Miserable life, 4 wives. That's all that is. Miserable life, 4 wives. That's too many wives. How do you support all these wives? And what if you divorce 1 and the other 3 get pissed off because you have to pay child support to that one?
There is no child support in Yemen. In Yemen, the man could do whatever he wants. And I was just thinking, imagine if you have 4 wives and everyone get her period in different time. So the whole month.
No, they're all going to sink in at the same time. You don't know women, do you? Women sync together. If they're close in the same house, they're all in sync. And so that week is going to be a nightmare. You better just hide. Okay, you better just hope you can say yes to your 4 different ways to Sunday with 4 wives. 1 is all right. You can kind of deal with it, but you're going to take 4 wives out to dinner all night. No, you're just I understand different cultures and all that, but no, you know what? It's just keep it down to 1 relationship. Focus on 1 relationship. It's not worth your soul for that matter. I get it. It's a different culture. I don't understand it real well. And I really am not going to understand how it works because that's just a different way of doing things. I grew up with a mom and dad. They didn't, you know, it was a relationship. It still is.
Nice.
Was it a healthy relationship? That's a different story. Maybe not, maybe so, but it's nonetheless, the point is that you and I, you come from a different aspect and you have a girlfriend. You're not looking to pick up 3, right? You're not going to go get 3 Canadian girlfriends all of a sudden because you moved to Canada. No, because your other girlfriend will kill you and they'll be hell to pay. You know what I'm saying is that, different societies, I understand that, but focus on 1 person and try to build yourself and they'll love you for you, you know. Where was I going with that? But anyways, that's where I'm
Yeah,
at.
I agree. I try to keep the podcast to 1 hour, and I want to end this with asking you about your bombing run. So just
Okay.
why I want to know, like, what motivates you to do it? Where do you see this going? How is it going? That's all.
So bombing run came out of an idea just when I was doing a feedback mic and I was just sitting there thinking, it'd be fun to do a competition with some comedians. And I thought, let's make it real simple. And that came up with 3 comedians, do 5-minute sets, and whoever is the best sets, Joker Ace. And I thought Joker Ace bombing run, that's kind of military, that's Air Force. So that's why I went with it. It could have, and it was just an idea. I threw it out in the universe. I was like, let's see what happens. And it's become something that's kind of fun. So now, as of this coming Sunday, May 15th, I'm going out to Phoenix, Arizona. We're taping 3 pilot episodes of Bombing Run. With Liz Frizzy, this is going to be out there. So we're going to JP's Comedy Club. But then I've modified the game to where there's one called Dogfight Edition, where it's 2 comedians do 3-minute sets. Now think about that. 3-minute sets. That means you're going really, really fast. You better hit your punches. You better not spend a minute and a half getting to that first joke. You know, you better have that punch within whatever, 5 to 18 seconds, whatever. So you better get your act together because you want to be a good comedian. You better make people laugh soon because they'll forget about you. But I'm taping 3 pilot episodes. We're going to see where it goes from there. I have a deal in mid-June where these shows, the tape shows and the ones I've done online, are going to be on a Roku channel. And there'll be, so there'll be some pre-recorded stuff, but there'll be some live stream stuff. So not only will you see it on Zoom and maybe my YouTube channel later, it's going to be streamed to the Roku channel, which is also going to be on Apple Apple TV and the Amazon Fire Stick. So I'm taking the game show as far as I can. I'm modifying it after this tapings. I'm changing it up. And I'm going to announce it after I come back and we set up another online show. I'm changing it up a little bit just for fun. It's going to be kind of a different thing, but it's going to be about the same format, just a little difference on how I do the dogfight
Nice.
edition.
Nice.
And it's a blast. I mean, you've been on it. I've had lots of comedians on it, and it's kind of like it's what I call audition for my other shows. Because if you can make me laugh on that show, you're automatically going to be on one of those other shows. And if even the judge doesn't pick you, I'll contact you later, probably down the line, and say, look, you know what, I found you funny, but I keep myself out of it because I just want to be the host, the producer. I got a lot of hats to wear. I don't want to be the judge. I don't need to be judge, jury, and executioner, if you know what I mean. So Bombing Run is just that little game show. I think it's going to take off. If it doesn't take off live, it's still going to be online. It's still going to be that online show and maybe a hybrid eventually. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, so you're still doing online and live. So in the future, yeah, that's cool. And yeah, for anyone that's listening, it's good competition. I also love that you bring people from like my competition. There were even one woman from Russia. I'm like, what? Where did?
You was Olga, and I can't remember the other guy, but yeah, I wanted to be like the international Bombing Run. So I made sure that it was like everybody was not in the United States. I was like, I want this one kind of special. And I've done that before where like I try to keep the competition about level. I don't want somebody with 10 years going against somebody with 1 or 2, because that's not fair. That's far from fair. So I try to keep the competition fair and fun and feedback. The one thing I do point out is the judges give feedback to the comedians who want it. And that way they can see what they could work on in that, because I do have a Bombing Run judges sheet. And I do give it to the comedians so they can see what the judge is looking for. So it's basic comedy. It's basic comedy, but I just put a little twist on it, make it a game show, and just kind of have fun with it.
No, it's really cool, especially now that you said that you talked about it might be going into Apple TV, and I think that's also motivate others to also maybe come and participate. I even consider doing it again. I will contact. I even got better, I feel, because I did it long time ago.
You've done it way early, and I've watched you, Muaadh, as you've progressed, and you've done a lot better. I love what you've been doing. It's more off the cuff sometimes, I think, and you're doing better. Just like me. I mean, some people say I do a great job hosting, but joke telling, I'm not so good. Well, I'm getting better as it goes along. We're all learning, and there's a process to all this comedy stuff. But you know, a Bombing Run, no one has to worry about Bombing Run because I'm General A.A. Ron. I am the bomber. I am General A.A. Ron. So I'm already the bomber of the show. So it doesn't matter how everybody else, it's only one person be Joker Ace, but I am the bomber. So I've already put myself in the corner and just said, yeah, you guys are better than me. I don't care. But I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Everybody's good. Come on back. I'm going to start those back up probably, let's see, next 15th. I'm going to probably need about a week afterwards to kind of decompress and get everything set up, because I got to cut those because we're getting it taped. So we got an actual videographer with 3 cameras.
Nice.
So I got to edit those videos. Yeah, we're doing 3 shows. So that's an hour's worth of time. So material I have to cut up and put together as a segment. That's going to take me a little time because I'm the producer too. I'm the editor, producer, MC, you know, so I have a lot of hats I wear here. So
I think what you do is good. Also, like I see version of it, for example, Kill Tony. It's something which is, so this is good way to help the art, to help some comedians, especially now that you're gonna hopefully put it in Apple TV, Amazon. One last thing. So how can someone, like, how do you try to be findable? Are you in like Google? Do you have website? I know you have the dark Zoom in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What do you do? I'm not into TikTok.
No, I barely am into TikTok, and I'll tell you right now, TikTok's not my friend. I'm still working on TikTok. I'm not a big fan. I'm on YouTube. You can look up This Just in News. I don't have my logos, but if you look up Oddly Funny Productions on Facebook,
Okay.
that's my production company. That's how I work. That's business as. So that's where you could find me. You could direct message me. I will come back and message you back. If you can find me on TikTok, it's my full name, Aaron, Aaron, Duspiva, Duspiva. That's TikTok. That's Twitter. Those two things. YouTube, it's This Just in News. I don't have a logo to save my soul here.
And
Nope.
Instagram, you didn't mention Instagram, or no?
Instagram is This Just in News as well, but I have a hard time keeping up with all these apps, to be honest with you.
YouTube, it's going crazy. We need one, just one, and everyone will be there. But then,
Well, YouTube, yeah, if Facebook and YouTube is by the two places I'm at the most, to be honest with you, Facebook and YouTube. So if you find me on Facebook, that's where people hook up with me, connect with me to where I can, we produce the shows. Like I got 2 shows, and This Just in News, the showcase show I produced, is going to go on the Roku channel as well. It's going to be a live stream show, just like Bombing Run is. So my Mondays, as though I call Fun Day Mondays, is Bombing Run is at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then This Just in News is every other Monday at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So those 2 shows will be up on that Roku channel. And as soon as we get everything kind of settled in and down and everything technically figured out, I will be letting people know where to find it, because I don't stream these shows anywhere else except I record them and put them on YouTube about a week later, or maybe 2 weeks, depending how bad I'm editing. But if you want to see something live on a Monday where you're not going out and you had a rough day on a Monday, look, I have comedy. I'm going to tell you where it's at. You go check out that channel, and that's where it's going to be.
That's cool. Thank you so much. I really enjoy your hosting, enjoy listening to you, and I really feel fortunate that through comedy and Zooms, I got to meet people like you. So I appreciate you so much, Aaron. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Muaadh. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much.
All the best. I hope to see you soon in other open mics and hopefully in real life in the future. Thank you so much.
Oh, you will. I think I'll see you tonight, actually.
Yeah, we have it. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.